All right. That's basically the biggest part of prophecy. All right, is the fact of who the Edomites are, what they'll be doing, and how they'll be taken down. All right, that's what it is. So that's why we have to keep going in on Esau, man. We got to keep bringing out information on Edomites. All right, and to the point where it's undeniable who the Edomites are. Let's get Joel the 3rd chapter.
No, but it wasn't the pregnant. My doctor said I was going to travel to Florida. One night, Lake Bar, yeah.
This is Joel 3, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." All right. So the reason why World War III is going to be an issue is really based upon us, man. It's based upon the Israelites. Okay. Why? Because the Most High has a controversy with these other nations for what they've done. You see, especially Esau. So what he's doing is he's coming back to what? Redeem the elect and judge the heathen. All right. It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." All right, that's what they did in the time of the slave trade. And it says, "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine," going into the Hamites, the Ishmaelites, all these different heathens that had a part in that. "And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things." All right. "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians," man. All right. And the Grecians represent all these Edomites, man. Right? Because what did they do? They sold us to what? The Grecians, or the Edomites. Right? Which the scriptures refer to them as the Grecians. Right? That's just a general term for Edomites. All right. And it says that ye might remove them far from their border, and that's what they did. They removed us from the eastern hemisphere and brought us to the western hemisphere, man. Okay, that's far from our border, because our border is the land of Israel, man. Okay, and it says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off, for the Lord has spoken." So that's called payback, man. That's called judgment. All right, and that's going to be issued by the Heavenly Father, man. You see, Esau wants to escape the judgment. He wants Jake to forgive him. It's not about us, man. Right? Which we don't. But even if we did, it wouldn't make no difference, because really it's the Most High who has a controversy. That's what it's really about. If the Most High didn't have a controversy with you, then guess what? Nothing would happen. But the fact that the Heavenly Father has a controversy with what you did to his people, that's why he's coming to judge. All right? He's coming to bring judgment for that. Although you have a lot of our people who are in that sick slave mentality, all right? They want to love the Edomites, all right? They want to love the devil, the oppressor, all right? The Most High has another idea, man. Okay? His idea is the idea of judgment, of justice, which Esau don't believe in justice, man. All right? He believes in justice maybe when it comes to him, but even there, his justice is flawed. Okay? Right? If you have enough money, you can get an easier break than someone without money. That's not justice, but that's how it works in Esau's society. But when the Most High comes to judge, there's not going to be any of that. All right? Let's get Zechariah 2:8. This is Zechariah 2 verse 8. It says, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye," man. All right? So they touched the apple of the Heavenly Father's eye. When they touched Israel, when they touched Judah all the way down to Issachar, they touched the apple of the Heavenly Father's eye. They touched a special people into it, man. All right? So this is where Esau messed up, man. He didn't grab Moab. He didn't grab Ishmael. All right? He grabbed the children of Israel. He grabbed the children of Israel. Okay? That's where the big controversy is. And the Most High made the Israelites separate from all these other nations. He made us above all other nations. He didn't make us on the same level. All right? Right? And that's evident, man. When you really look at the way Israel dominates everything, man, you know that Israel is a superior nation, man. All right? From Judah all the way down, man. Okay? This is Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth," man. All right? So the Most High made us above all nations. He didn't make us on the same level. All right? You jakes are so beat down and mentally messed up that you really trying to be equal with the devil. We're above these Edomites, man. Okay? You trying to fight for equal rights, man. You're supposed to be fighting to get these devils in captivity, man. And that's what we're doing by coming out and pushing this word out. Because the Most High promised the elect a reward, and part of that reward is having these devils under subjection. Okay? Matter of fact, let's prove that. Let's get on Revelation, the 2nd chapter. See? See, if Vocab believes that all nations can be delivered, then he has to explain Revelation, the 2nd chapter. Because that's explicitly speaking about the nations being in captivity under certain Israelites. All right? This is Revelations 2 in verse 25. It says, "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers," man. Let me read that again, man, because the Most High, he's not dealing with all nations, man. He doesn't care about the rest of these nations. He only cares about the Israelites. That's evident, man, when you read the Bible. Very evident. It says, verse 25, "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." All right. So who's he speaking to? He's speaking to the 12 churches of Asia Minor, right? He's speaking to those churches. So he said that he that keepeth his word unto the end, which are of the Israelites, they're gonna have power over the nations. See? And what does that mean to have power over the nations? Well, it's going to continue and explain it. "And he shall rule them with a rod of iron." And when you rule somebody with a rod of iron, that means you're basically being a tyrant, man. All right? You're ruling them with rigor. And that's what we're going to do to these other nations. We're not going to rule Moab nicely. We're not going to rule Ishmael or Elam nicely. You see? There's going to be levels, but it's still not going to be nice, man. We're going to be dealing with them in a harsh manner. All right? "As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive with my mind." So we're going to break these nations. All right? We're going to literally break these nations down. Okay? Into complete subjection, man. All right? Especially, and if that's going to happen to all these other nations, what do you think is going to happen to Esau? The Edomites. They're going to get the worst judgment, and they know that. That's why they're trying to fight against it, and no, that can't be right, you know. No, you got to read John 3:16 and this and that. That's the only scripture they know, man. That's the main scripture. That's their go-to. But then when we break it down the right way, no, they don't want to deal with it, because they know in the back of their mind that they have to pay. They know. You see, they know that a judgment has to come, man. They know they can't just continue ruling the earth in the way they've been ruling the earth. You know, they know that the Most High is going to come and judge them. All right? And we're just reading the sentence, you see? But then you have a lot of Israelites, they don't want to deal with that. No, we just, forgive and forget, love everybody, blah, 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 all this nonsense that Esau's pushed down their throat through slavery, man. Okay? Giving them something called a slave Bible, man. Where they took out 80% of the Bible and gave them like 20%. What do you think the 20% was? You think the 20% was Revelations 13:9, where it says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity"? Of course not. They gave you the forgive, right? The John 3:16, the love your master, etc., etc. They gave you something to mold your mind into their version of Christianity that they wanted you to embrace, and that's what you did. You embraced that shit. You see, to the point where Jake now, they're jumping off the damn podium. You got judges doing backflips off the podium to give murderers hugs, man. Right? Right? Yeah, that Edomite whore, right? Amber Geiger, that so-called white woman, that whore, all right? She committed murder against that Jake. And you got the judge jumping off the podium to give her a damn hug. That was never heard of ever, man. I never seen that, never heard of anything like that in my life. All right? Because that shows the mental captivity that you Israelites are under. All right? And in that Christianity, that's not in the Bible. That has nothing to do with the Bible. The Bible speaks about judgment. It speaks about justice. It speaks about payback. All right? It doesn't speak about someone could just put you in captivity and for 500 years plus years, and you just give them a hug after, and everything is good. No, that's not balance. Okay? Let's get Isaiah the 14th chapter. Right? Because if they're saying that, then they gotta explain the 99% of the Bible, the other 99%, right? Because they're pulling out 1% to say this is what it's all about, but then they're negating the 99% that basically cancels out what the hell they're saying. Let's get Isaiah 14. It's Isaiah 14:1. It says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were." This is speaking about the kingdom of heaven, man. All right? We're going to take them captives who we were captive under, man. All right? You see what I'm saying? And that ties in with Revelation 13:9. Let's say he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That ties in with Isaiah 14, man. Okay? Let me read that again. It says, "And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors." This is going to happen in the kingdom. All right? Like I said, we're not going to rule over you with nicely. Okay? The heathen are going to have to pay for what they've done. That doesn't just include Esau. That includes all these heathen, man. Anyone that's not of our nation, that's not of the nation of Israel, they're going to have to be put to death. No, not put to Salakia, put into captivity, Salakia. Right? And that's just the reality of the situation. It's going to be harsh captivity too. It's not going to be nice. We're not going to treat Ishmael nice. We're not going to treat Moab nice, man. Because we're going to also tap into the things that they did to us as well. Right? Just like we don't know everything that Esau did under his rulership. We just know what was documented or what they show us. Okay? But we're going to find out everything that Esau did. We're going to find out the exact amount of wickedness and violence that Esau executed on our people. We're going to find out everything, all right? All the little boys, little children, little girls that they killed and murdered and whatever, all that's going to be exposed, man, all right? Esau ain't going to just get away with that shit, okay? And that's just going to make that judgment that much worse for them, all right? Because they hold themselves like if they think there's some type of noble people. They're the lowest scum that ever walked the planet Earth. Okay? And you Israelites, you're following after the ways of the devil. All right? So you're listen, man. That's why there has to be a ethnic cleansing of our people, man. That's why the Most High has to really filter out and keep the good and leave the bad to the side. All right? Which represents the destruction that's going to happen. All right? Let's get that Zechariah 13 and 8. This is Zechariah 13 verse 8. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." All right, so that's the 1/3. That's the elect that's going to be left, but the rest is going to be cut off and die. Listen, there's not going to be any Israelite that's not of the elect that's going to make it into the kingdom. Every Israelite that's wicked, all right, that's a 2/3, right? They're gonna die before the kingdom is established. It's as simple as that. They're going to have to die out. They're not going to get those new bodies and reign in the kingdom. No, they're going to have to be, one way or another, they're going to be put to death. Whatever the Most High has set up for them, they're going to be put to death one way or another. Now, there's not going to be a 2/3 that's going to make it from this kingdom to the next. All right? And it says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire," which represents that adversity, "and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power." And guess what? The elect is being tried right now. All right? The things that we're going through, once you get to this truth, trust me, the hell intensifies about 10 times. You see? Because living in the world, that was easy, man. All right? That was easy compared to this. You see? But then when you come to this truth, that's when that real adversity starts to hit you more and more. You know? To the point where you gotta really start to get used to it. You know, and that's the Most High refining, that's the Most High refining us. You see? And turn us into that pure gold, as the scriptures speak about, man. Alright? Let's get Jeremiah real quick. Well, this is Jeremiah 30, verse 7. And it says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right, so it's the time of Jacob's trouble that's getting ready to come. All right, which 2/3 they're going to be caught up in that. They're going to get the worst. They're going to get the bad part of that. Really, the elect is going to be glorified in that day. You see, the elect is going to be glorified. They're going to be, it's going to be a happy time. At the same time, it's going to be, you got to kind of get down and dirty, so to speak. But it's going to be a happy time at the same time, because we're going to see the judgment of these people. Right? Brothers been out here speaking for years, pushing this word out, saying what was going to happen. And you had the 2/3 scoff and laugh and whatever they did, make videos and talk shit. But guess what? At that time, that's when that judgment is going to come. That's when we're going to know. Right now, they're eating their words. See? And nothing's more sweet than revenge, man. You see? And that's what's going to happen to these people that came up against the word, man. You got a lot of these people that's walking around today that back in the past they killed some prophets, they murdered the prophets. You see? You think they're not going to get their judgment? You think they're gonna mosey on into the kingdom? Let's get Isaiah, what's that, 65? Isaiah 65, start at verse 12. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 11. "But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop and that furnished drink offering unto that number, man. So you're more concerned with Esau, Edom, you know, and how to please him than to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know. You're more concerned with that, you know. And it says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. All right, so that's it. You see what I'm saying? The elect, they fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're trying to do what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai delights in. But then you have the 2/3. They're ignoring that. They want to do what they want to do. So the Most High said, okay, so you're gonna be destroyed. That's it. Simple as that. And it says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. All right, this is speaking about the elect. In that time, like I said, the elect is going to be glorified. They're going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? In that time, and that's going to be the time when all these people are catching hell. You see how that the light went out. The light went out in Montreal and around Quebec for one day, right? You had people that were tripping out at that. You know, the light went out. You know, but me, listen. When that time comes, I was chilling. I was nothing, right? But when that time comes, and let's say when the light go out for like a week, and there's not food coming into the stores now, see, that's when these people are gonna start to bug out, all right, and start to really get violent. And you're gonna see it's gonna be like the purge out here, okay? But those are the times that's coming. There's gonna be a time when the Most High it's not gonna be as comfortable for these people in these so-called first world countries, all right? It's gonna be to the point where it's like, it's going to be a limited amount of food, limited amount of water, all right? And that's when the true character of these people are going to come out, all right? And that's when everything that we were saying on the corners, right? That's when it's going to be like, okay, that's when they're going to know that there was a prophet among them. We read that again. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. See, that's going to be a time for that we're going to also rejoice. All right? It says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, man. Why? Because they're going to be in a low state at that point. All that scoffing they were doing, while we were basically making ourselves fools for Yahweh's sake, for the Lord's sake, right, as the scriptures say, that's when they're going to be made to be the fools. See? But that's just how it goes. You know, you win. You want to win first, you win, and then you lose, right? Or you want to lose for a while and then win it ultimately in the end. That's what it is. Okay? And that's what it's going to be for Esau too. You see, because Esau right now he's on the top, but his fall is going to be worse than any other person on the earth. And the Most High actually gave Esau the longest rulership when you look at it, because he ruled as the Greeks, then he ruled as the Romans, right? Right, under different names, right? The Greeks, the Romans, right? Then they fell, right, during the time of the Holy Roman Empire while we were ruling, and then they just came back into power for another 500 years, right? But they're gonna have the worst fall of all nations, man. All right? When they fall, that's when all these other nations are gonna know, okay, listen, we just gotta better do what these people say, all right? Because at the end of the day, man, listen, man, they're gonna find out, because the Most High said, anyone that does not come to serve, you know, to keep your high holy days, and guess what? There's not gonna be no water for them, man. The Most High is gonna stop the water from coming. All right. So in other words, they're gonna die of starvation, man. So I don't think there's gonna be a lot of bucking up that's gonna happen in the kingdom. There's gonna be a few, but then they're gonna get the drift. Okay. They're gonna see what's up. It's winter coat weather right now. So Malachi 4 verse 2, it says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as the calves of the star." All right? So the ones that Yahushua is really coming for is really the elect. Yeah, he died for the whole nation of Israel, but he's really coming for the elect. You see what I'm saying? He's coming to deliver the elect, because the 2/3 they're not gonna make it out. Like I said, no one of the 2/3 is gonna make it to the kingdom. They're gonna have to die on this side to be reborn again. See? So in other words, everyone's gonna have to be reborn one way or another, whether it be through the spirit if you're the elect, or whether it be physically. All right? Because regardless, all Israel's gonna be saved, like the scripture says, one way or another. But you're gonna have to be destroyed before you get to the other side. All right? So let me read that again. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings." Because what did Yahushua say? He said, "I come to them that are sick, not whole." All right? You know? So he's coming back to deliver those that are sick. All right? And it says, "And ye shall go forth and go up as the calves of the stars." And that represents the kingdom, right? Because in the kingdom, guess what? Nothing's going to touch us. All right? We're just going to continue to flourish, man. All right? Right? Because that's going to be a forever thing. That's not going to be a certain period of time that you die and you come, your body, your spirit's regenerated. No. The kingdom, we're going to live forever, continuously. It's not going to be a dull moment. You think that that's impossible, thinking with our brains right now, we think that's impossible. But guess what? The Most High is in control of that, whose knowledge is way above ours. See what I'm saying? Excuse me. Let me see. Let me get it says 2 Peter. This is 2 Peter 3:13. And it says, "Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness." All right? And that's going to be the kingdom where Israel's ruling, where the true Israelites are ruling. Which is speaking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Once we're in rulership under Yahushua, that's when the earth is going to go back to its proper state. Okay? While the so-called white man's ruling, the earth is going to continue to be destroyed. All right? It's not going to stop, you see? But once we're in that rulership and we're really running the earth the way it's supposed to be run, everything is going to flourish, man. According to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right? Let's get because like why would the Most High have to take down the kingdom if it's a righteous kingdom? The only reason the Most High destroys kingdoms in the first place is if they're wicked. But we're gonna, like it said a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness. There's not gonna be any wickedness going on amongst the rulers of that kingdom. So what's gonna happen? The earth is gonna flourish. Okay. Let's get Hebrews the 8th chapter. This is Hebrews 8 and verse 6. It says, "But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second." All right. This is speaking about the first. What was the first covenant? The first covenant was when Moses came with the law, statutes, and commandments, right, written on stones, man. That was the first covenant. It's the second covenant. I'm going to read the second covenant right now. Okay? For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And that's what the Most High is doing right now. He's making, or that's what the Most High is about to do, Salaki. He's about to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. All right? Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. And notice it's not mentioning any other nation. It's not mentioning the house of Ishmael. It's only mentioning the house of Israel, man. Okay, because that's what it's about. That's all the Most High cares about, man. He only cares about His people, man. All right, he doesn't care about the Moabites, what's happening with them. If the Most High was dealing with Ishmael, the Most High would have delivered Ishmael, man. Ishmael been getting bombed for decades now, man. All right? And supposedly he's serving the right power, right? And it says, verse 10, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. All right, and that's amongst the Israelites. All the Israelites are going to know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So if there's no more wickedness going on, no more sin, right? Because what is sin according to the scriptures? Right? Sin is the transgression of the law. So if you're not transgressing the law, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, then guess what? You're never gonna die. All right. The reason why Adam fell, right, and we started to die, right, is because what? He sinned, right, by following after his woman, right? You see what I'm saying? For following the philosophy that she was taught by the damn serpent. Okay. So if that was the case, if he never did that, guess what? He would have continued. All right. His life would have continued to this day. All right, and that's what's going to happen in the kingdom, because we're not going to be able to sin according to the scriptures. We're going to continue to live. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that in 1 John still. Let's get that in 1 John real quick. First John 3 and verse 4, it says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. All right, so that's what sin is. So if you're not sinning, right, then guess what? There's no need to die, because the Most High said what? The wages of sin is death. See? If Adam continued doing righteousness, he would have never died in the first place. Okay? But that's where Yahweh Shai is going to restore everything with this new covenant. Okay? And that's when the earth is going to be replenished, and that's going to continue forever. Like it says, the scriptures also speak about the earth being growing as well. All right, and the Most High, how He set up other planets for His people. All right, He said, what did Yahweh say? He said, in my Father's house there's many mansions, man. Okay, so we're going to be able to go to these different planets. You know, we're going to be able to inhabit these different planets and whatnot. So we're not just going to stay on Earth, man. Okay? Esau, he can only go so far when it comes to the Van Allen belt, man. He lied and said he went to the moon. He didn't go to no moon, all right? Because they can't even pass the radiation in the Van Allen belt, all right? You see? But the Most High is going to allow us to do all that, this kingdom is temporal, man. What Esau has going, everything that Esau does is all temporal. It's all a temporary thing, man. All right? It's all like GMO foods and all that. He does that, you know, to try and, you know, sustain, right, the crop and all that shit. But that really, what does it end up doing? It ends up making the people sick, get cancer and all that, because it's not natural. It's not how the Most High set things up. But what we're gonna have the fruits in abundance. It's gonna be it's all gonna be nutrition. It's all gonna be packed with nutrition. Excuse me. All right. We're not gonna have to do GMO foods and splicing genes and all that nonsense, man. Okay. You know, and look at these how they have the women of today, man. Everything when you deal with women in this society today, man, everything is temporal, man. It's not nothing is solid. It's not like how it used to be back in the day, man. Right? Where you had a wife from time she was a virgin, you were dealing with her, you know? You know what I'm saying? And it was a strong, she did what she was supposed to do. You did what you were supposed to do. You know? You both knew your roles and whatnot. Esau done twisted everything upside down, man. You know? Because he's a beta male by nature, man. Right? When you deal with true alpha males, they don't want no woman ruling over them. Okay? But Esau done switched that up, man. So that's all temporal. That's all polluted and destroyed. Okay? The relationship between a man and a woman. Now it's a damn competition, man. You know? Especially amongst the Israelite man and the Israelite woman. All right? Let's get Corinthians real quick.
Legend is how I started.